I've been to the zoo. Mister, I've been to the zoo. I said I've been to the zoo. I went to the zoo and then I walked until I came here. Have I been walking north? Is that Fifth Avenue? And where's that Crow Street there? That one to the right. And the zoo is around 75th Street. So I've been walking north. Good old north, but not too north. Well, boy, you're not going to get lung cancer, are you? No, sir. What you'll probably get is a cancer of the mouth, and then you'll have to wear one of those things Fruit wore after they took one whole side of his jaw away. What do they call these things? A prosthesis. You're an educated man, aren't you? Are you a doctor? Well, Time magazine is for blockheads. Boy, I'm glad that's Fifth Avenue there. I don't like the west side of the park much. I don't know. Do you mind if I talk? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's a nice day. I've been to the zoo. You'll read about it in papers tomorrow if you don't see it in your TV tonight. You have TV, aren't you? You're married. It isn't a law, for God's sake. And you have a wife. And you have children. Boys. But you wanted boys. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And you're not going to have any more kids, are you? The way you cross your legs. Perhaps something in the voice. Or maybe I'm just guessing. Is it your wife? That is the way the cookie crumbles. Well, now, what else? I'll tell you about it soon. Do you mind if I ask you questions? I'll tell you why I do it. I don't talk to many people except to say like, give me a beer, or where's the John, or what time does the future go on, or keep your hands to yourself, buddy. You know, things like that. But every once in a while, I like to talk to somebody. I really like to get to know somebody, know all about him. On a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon like this, who better than a nice married man with 2 doctors and a dog? Oh, no? 2 dogs? No dogs? But, oh, that's a shame. You look like an animal man. Cats. Cats, but that can't be your idea, right? Your wife and daughters? Is there anything else I should know? Birds. Do they carry disease, the birds? Oh, that's too bad. If they did, you could set them loose in the house and then the cats could eat them and die, maybe. And what else? What do you do to support your enormous household? That sounds nice, very nice. What do you make? Oh, come on. Where do you live? Oh, look, I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to kidnap your parakeets, your cats, or your daughters. That wasn't so hard, was it? I'll start walking around a little while, and eventually I will sit down. Wait until you see the expression on his face. The what? The zoo? The zoo. Oh, yes, the zoo. I was there before I came here. I told you that. Say, what's the dividing line between upper middle class and lower upper middle class? Don't, my dear, follow me. Was I patron? And when you were bewildered, you became patronizing? So be it. The truth is, I was being patronizing. Alright, who are your favorite writers? Baudelaire and J.P. Marquand? Skip it. Do you know what I did before I went to the zoo today? I walked all the way up to Fifth Avenue from Washington Square. All the way. No, I don't. I took the subway down to the village, so I could walk all the way up Fifth Avenue to the zoo. It's one of those things a person has to do. Sometimes a person has to go a very long distance out of his way to come back a short distance correctly. What were you trying to do? Make sense out of things? Bring order? The old pigeonhole bit? Well, that's easy. I'll tell you, I live in a four-story brownstone rooming house on the Upper West Side between Columbus Avenue and Central Park West. I live on the top floor, rear west. It's a laughably small room and one of my walls is made of beaverboard. This beaverboard separates my room from another laughably small room, so I assume that the two rooms were once one room, a small room but not necessarily laughable. The room beyond my beaverboard wall is occupied by a colored queen who always keeps his door open. Well, not always, but always when he's plucking his eyebrows, which he does with body's concentration. This colored queen has rotten teeth, which is rare, and he has a Japanese kimono, which is also pretty rare. And he wears this kimono and from the John in the hall, which is pretty frequent. I mean, he goes to the John a lot. He never bothers me and never brings anyone up to his room. All he does is pluck his eyebrows, wear his kimono, and go to the John. And now the two front rooms on my floor are a little larger, I guess, but they're pretty small too. There is a Puerto Rican family in one of them, a husband, a wife, and some kids. I don't know how many. These people entertain a lot, and in the other front room there is somebody living there, but well, I don't know who is. I never seen who it is. Never, never, ever. I don't know. Well, no, it is an apartment in the year 70s, but then again, I don't have no wife, two doctors, two cats, and two parakeets. What do I have? I have 12 articles, a few clothes, a hot plate that I'm not supposed to have, a can opener, one that works with a key, a knife, two forks, two spoons, one small, one large, three plates, a cup, a saucer, a drinking glass, two picture frames, both empty, 8 or 9 books, a pack of pornography playing cards, regular deck, an old Western Union typewriter that prints nothing but capital letters, and a small strong box without a lock which has in it what? Rocks. Some rocks, sea-rounded rocks I picked up on the beach when I was a kid. Under which weighed down are some letters. Please, letters, please. Why don't you do this? And please, when will you do that? Letters. And when letters too? When will you write? Will you come? When? These letters are from more recent years. I don't see why they need an explanation at all. Isn't it clear? I don't have pictures of anyone to put in them. You're a very sweet man, and you're possessed of a truly enviable innocence. But good old mom and good old pop are dead. I'm broken about it too. I mean, really, but the particular vaudeville act is playing the cloud circuit now, so I don't see how I can look at them all neat and framed. Besides, or rather, to be pointed about it, good old mom walked out on good old pop when I was 10.5 years old. She embarked on an adulterous turn of southern states, a journey of years' duration, and her most constant companion, among many others, was a Mr. Barleycorn. At least that was good old pop told me after he went down, come back, brought her body north, but received the news between Christmas and New Year's. You see, that good old mom had parted with the gauze in some dump in Alabama, and without the gauze she was less welcome. I mean, what was she? A stiff, a northern stiff. At any rate, good old pop celebrated the New Year for even 2 weeks and then slept into the front of somewhat moving city omnibus, which sort of cleaned things up family-wise. Well, no, then there's Mom's sister, who was given neither to see nor the consolation of the bottle. I moved in her, and my memory of her is slight, excepting I remember still that She did all things daily, sleeping, eating, working, praying. She dropped dead on the stairs to her apartment, my apartment then too, on the afternoon of my high school graduation. A terrible Middle European joke, if you ask me. Oh, you're right, but that was a long time ago, and I have no feeling about any of it that I care to admit to myself. Perhaps you can see, though, why good old mom and good old pop are frameless. What's your name? Your first name. I've forgotten to ask you. I'm Jerry. And let's see now, what's the point of having a girl's picture, especially in two frames? I have two picture frames, remember, I never see the pretty little ladies more than once, and most of them wouldn't be called to the same room with a camera. It's odd, and I wonder if it's sad. No, I wonder if it's sad that I never see the little ladies more than once. I've never been able to have sex with, or how's it put, make love to anybody more than once. Once, that's it. Oh wait, for a week and a half when I was 15, and I hang my head in shame that puberty was late. I was a homosexual. I was queer. Queer. Well, bell ringing, banner snapping in the wind. And for those 11 days, I met at least twice a day with the park's superintendent's son, a Greek boy whose birthday was the same as mine, except he was a year older. I think I was very much in love, maybe just with sex, but that was just this jazz of a very special hotel, wasn't it? And now, oh, do I love these little ladies? Really, I love them for about an hour. Look, are you going to tell me to get married and have parakeets? Alright, I'm sorry. Alright, you're not angry? Good. Interesting that you asked me about the picture frames. I would have thought you would have asked me about the pornography playing cards. That's not the point. I suppose when you were a kid and your pals passed them around, or you had a pack of your own, and you threw them away just before you got married. No? So, Besides, I wasn't trying to plumb your post-adolescent sexual life and hard times. What I wanted to get at is the value difference between pornography playing cards when you were a kid and pornography playing cards when you were older. It's that when you were a kid, you used the card as a substitute for a real experience, and when you're older, you use real experience as a substitute for the fantasy. But imagine you'd rather hear about what happened at the zoo. Let me tell you about why I went. Well, let me tell you some things. I've told you about the fourth floor of the rooming house where I live. I think the rooms are better as you go down floor by floor. I guess they are. I don't know if the people on the third and second floors. Oh wait, I do know that there's a lady living on the third floor in the front. I know because she cries all the time whenever I go out or come back in. Whenever I pass her door, I always hear crying, muffled, but very determined. Very determined indeed. But the one I'm getting to and all about the dog is the landlady. I don't like to use words that are too harsh in describing people. I don't like to, but the landlady is fat, ugly, mean, stupid, unwashed, misanthropic, cheap, drunken bag of garbage. And you might have noticed that I very seldom have used profanity, so I can describe her as well as I might. Well, thanks. Anyway, she has a dog, and I will tell you about the dog, and she and her dog are the gatekeeper of my dwelling. The woman is bad enough, she leans around the entrance hall, spying to the sea that I don't bring in things or people, and when she's had her mid-afternoon pint of lemon-flavored gin, she always stops me in the hall and grabs a hold of my coat through my arm, and she presses her disgusting body up against me. To keep me in a corner so she can talk. The smell of her body and her breath, you can imagine it. And somewhere in the back of that pea-sized brain of hers, an organ developed just enough to let her eat, drink, and emit. She has some full parody of sexual desire, and I, Peter, I am the object of her sweet delights. But I have found a way to keep her off. When she talks to me, when she presses herself to my body and mumbles about her room and how should I come there, I merely say, "But love, wasn't yesterday enough for you? And the day before?" Then she puzzles. She makes slits of her tiny eyes. She sways a little and then Peter. And it is at this moment that I think I may be doing some good in that tormented house. A simple minded smile begins to form on her unthinkable face, and she giggles and groans as she thinks about yesterday and the day before, as she believes and believes that what never happened. Then she motions to that black monster of a dog she has, and she goes back to her room, and I am safe until our next meeting. It's for reading about, isn't it? And fact is better left to fiction. You're right, Peter. Well, what I've been meaning to tell you about is the dog. I shall know. Don't go. You're not thinking of going, are you? Because after I tell you about the dog, do you know what then? Then, then I'll tell you about what happened at the zoo. You don't have to listen. Nobody is holding you here. Remember that. Keep that in your mind. You do? Good.